This is Citizen Election Watch. I'm David Craig. Today is Thursday. We are heading back to the polls Monday, just a couple days away after a great weekend of advanced polling. Over 7 million people turned out. That's a 25% increase from the last election. I love seeing Canadians get involved with voting. It's going to be interesting looking at the polls as we move into Monday. The polls, guess what? They have been tightening. Conservatives have been making up some ground. We watch the Conservatives at where they're strong. Guess what? They're strong in Alberta, very strong in Saskatchewan, they're strong in Manitoba. Liberals, they're strong in Ontario and Quebec. But you look in Atlantic Canada, they used to be deep red when you look at the polls several weeks ago. Now it's been moving to light red, meaning Conservatives have been making up ground. Are they going to steal some key seats in Atlantic Canada? It's a big possibility. What it's going to come down to is British Columbia. I'm going to make a little bit of a prediction here, is that we're not going to know who our Prime Minister is or who the minority or majority government is until BC comes into play. I think we're going to see an even split going down the path of election night, but BC right now is a statistical tie. Both parties are going to be focusing at campaigning over the weekend in BC because it's going to be a key battleground province. So very interesting to watch and see how that unfolds the evening. A couple things I want to talk to you about just before we move into Monday. Canada's energy, our oil and our gas. There's an argument to be made for Canada's oil and gas about building infrastructure, interprovincial trade, getting our product out to the world at market rates, world market rates, not discounted rates only to the United States. That helps Canadian economy, helps create jobs, helps create the wealth in Canada, helps create investment and bringing money in, while at the same time helping the global environment. Yep, you heard it right here, because you've got two schools of thought. You've got Mark Carney, who says he wants Canada to be an energy superpower. But what he really means, and he clarified this on a French program last week, is he wants to help us transition our energy processes away from oil and gas. Why? Because he has net zero targets. But did you know Canada barely moves the needle on the world stage when it comes to CO2 emissions, when it comes to the thought that oil and gas hurts our environment. There are other countries, coal-producing countries, countries that have zero standards that move the needle massively on a global stage when their oil and gas and their energy get out to the rest of the world. So how can Canada help? By getting our energy out to the world, because we've got high standards, some of the highest in the world, in how we produce it, how we get it out. And if more Canadian energy gets out to the world, guess what? That reduces the amount from other countries who've got zero standards, whether they're Middle Eastern countries, whether it's China with coal producing, all the coal producing plants they've been making, etc. We have to look at that. So it helps Canada, and also it can help the environment. Did you think of that? Because that's something that we have to look at as Canadians, as to how can we build what we have. That is a solution. Which party is going to offer that? Which party wants to help build towards that? I think that is a real solution that we do need to look at seriously. That's all. We're out of time, but stick with us as we move towards Monday. This is Citizen Election Watch. I'm David Craig.